green this time.
DW, it's Saturday night, and Saturday night's all right for fighting. Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
And the green's in there. That's the green's out here, and then the holder boy. All right, here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. And Lord, please don't let it rain anymore.
Hello everybody and welcome to round 11, or excuse me, round 10 in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here from Richmond. Doing a little bit of post-race commentary, at least up until it's like sometime after I think lap 80 or 90 roughly in there. I had to take a phone call at that point, so I had to pause the game, whatever, and then realized I hadn't recorded this first portion of the video with audio, with commentary. So yeah, we come into Richmond 16th in the points, 267 back, currently in 31st. We had started 28th, well, we're now 32nd, but yeah, this track is the BBMC version of Richmond, and well, I mean, I'll probably say it every time we go to a BBMC or a newer track, but the graphics, it's another one of those deals. It was just, everything looked so good I couldn't pass it up, so just throwing that disclaimer out there, I guess. But yeah, this version of Richmond is a lot of fun. You can see right now in front of us, and we were even a little bit a part of the 3-wide race in there, so yeah, the car is handling good. We have some pace, so we're not flying to the front right now, obviously. We're kind of just sitting, trying to save a little bit of the tires and make sure we have some long run speed. Yeah, this track was a lot of fun. Without, I mean, we've had fun at races and we've crashed. We've had fun at races if we've won. We've had fun at races where we finished middle of the pack. So, I mean, there's really no spoiler in saying that part. But, yeah, so we're cruising along here. We had just gotten around Kevin Harvick. We're now peeking to the outside of Jimmie Johnson. The outside seemed to be really competitive at this version of Richmond, more so than even on, like, the BR tracks. You'll see throughout the race that we do have some pretty good side-by-side battles going on throughout the field. And 3-wide racing, it's pretty good. I mean, you can see straight up ahead of us right there. It looks like we got Robbie Gordon getting passed by, I think that's maybe Kurt Busch on the bottom up there, but I can't remember where he started off the top of my head. But yeah, you can see the 3-wide up there. So we're up to 29th right now. It's lap 9. And we're not in like a panic mode or anything, being outside of the chase at this point. There's still plenty of time, but we are going to have to eventually, get on it. I think, Talladega. Let's talk about Talladega for a second while we're watching this race. So, and we're not having any live commentary. Talladega. I think in this series we're on our 3rd, maybe 4th. No, it's right, because I had the 2001, the TRs I ran. 4th or 5th version of Talladega. Not very much luck. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. Talladega has just been one of those tracks. Like, I'm pulling it up now. It is listed as one of my worst tracks on in my notes. I have 6 DNFs there, 17 starts, 1 win, 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s. And after that, we're now like a 21.7. And if they were all at 57 laps, let's see, 17 times 57. That's 969 laps, and we've only led 153 laps. So, no poles. Yeah, we've only had 1 top 5 there. Let's see, that was 08. 7, not even a top 10. 6, not a top 10. 05, not a top 10. We had a second and a 9th in 04. And we haven't won there again since 03, so these action shots, I really love the way they came out in this race too. They looked pretty good. Yeah, it's just this track. Richmond is now probably one of my favorite tracks on the circuit. I used to not like coming here, and not because of how we, ran or anything like that, but just how well it looked and how well the AI behaved. I could win a race, or I could run 43rd, and I would like this track. Trying to make a move on Casey Kane here, as well as Martin Truex. That'll get us to 28th. If we can get past Truex, that should put us into 27th. Kane, though, dueling back on the outside. We had a hard time getting off the turns on the bottom without running up into anybody. So you'll see it, I think. Yeah, you'll see it. I think here, yeah, Kane gets the run on the outside. And we can't get past him there. And we can't really get a good run off the turn because Truex is kind of right there in front of us. Kane's holding us up. I forget how we got out of this little fiasco. Yeah, we ended up with a good run off that turn, and we pinched up Kane to keep him from trying to dive in the middle to take us 3 wide. But we struggled getting around Martin Truex. Finally managed to clear Martin. We're trying to track down David Stremme in the Star Trek car this week. Up to 27th. Kane's still lingering though. He had a lot of pace this race. We're getting close to Stremme, so we started to peek to the outside, but that's when Casey Kane stuck his nose in there. We managed to push him down though, and we take him 3 wide. And I didn't even feel concerned going 3 wide. That like something was risky there. Like every lane had some decent grip, and yeah, it just felt really good. Felt real fun to race that. We overshot a little bit there. Back down to the bottom, and we're now 26th. Casey Kane, though, not going away. Yeah, he's coming back. He's trying to pass us on the bottom now. And I remember I kept having to look back at him. So as we'd enter into the corner, and it was one of those deals again where I was looking back in my mirror and I was missing kind of where I wanted to be hitting my marks going into these turns. And yeah, it totally started botching up my times. We're also getting up to some lap cars, I believe, up ahead. Oh wait, no, we're on lap 27. Not yet. We're getting there soon. However, Casey Kane now is starting to creep to the bottom. If I remember, this was actually another one of those. Yeah, this turned into a pretty good side-by-side battle with Casey. Now we're going to be out of the cockpit for a little while here too. Something that I've had happen a couple times, not a lot, but a couple times with the BBMC tracks, is around like the 25th to 30th lap, when I'm in a replay in cockpit, the game crashes. Couldn't tell you why. So we had to switch out of the cockpit for a little bit. We use the 09 car as a pick. Let me just double check the roster I had in there so I can make sure I'm not calling him the wrong driver. Pretty sure it's Mike Bliss. Richmond. I'm getting there. Yeah, that was Mike Bliss. We used Bliss as a pick. And we were able to get away from Casey Kane there. Now on our way to try to catch David Ruderman and Reed. Slowly starting to bring these cars in. The handling at this point did start to go to where it felt like a four-wheel slide off of turn 4. So we have to kind of be careful with turn 4. Turn 2, it didn't feel as bad though, if I remember correctly. Getting ready to go around them. The thing with turns 1 and 2 that were really good for us was when we would go in kind of high and come off low. Turn 3 and 4, there was just really no real decent line for us. We struggled just a lot in that turn, if I remember right. Up to 24th. Side by side with the 82. So I don't recall ever what our longest actual green flag run is at Richmond, but I don't think we've ever had a fully green flag race here as we approached the 40th lap. Jeff Gordon was pretty dominant in this race, so he's the one we're looking out for right now. See him just pass by there in the speed shot. He was being chased by, I believe it was Jeff Burton at the time. Watching that traffic come by real fast just to make sure I'm remembering certain things correctly here. Yeah, there's us, Gordon. Yeah, Burton. So yeah, Jeff is not that far behind. He's just getting around Scott Speed himself. So we're trying to battle to stay on the lead lap. I very vividly remember as we were getting reports that the 24 was coming, I saw the bright yellow car, and I know that was Tony Raines, and he's slow. So I figured, you know, I'll try to get up to him as fast as possible and get around him and try to not leave any holes for Jeff to work through, but we kind of pinched it coming off a 2, and that slowed us up, and then that gave Jeff a pretty good shot at getting to Tony just by, you know, following us right through that hole. So now we're battling Jeff to stay on the lead lap, but we don't make it easy for him. He's like he's got us cleared, and not anymore. Battled back on the outside. So I was saying, this had 2 grooves of racing. It was fun. We're hanging on to it still. Jeff's not able to pull away. We're still right there up there on the outside. And Kevin goes down in front of the 24, and I see an opportunity. And we managed to get to the outside of Kevin and kind of trap the 24 behind him. So then we worked our way around the 48. And for the time being, we're able to hang on to the lead lap. Jeff, though, he didn't take too long to get through those 2. He's now past the 48, coming up behind us here. And all the while, Jeff Burton starts creeping into the picture a little bit back there. Accidentally drove it in just a little too hard there on turns 3 and 4, or into 3 and 4. But we're still able to keep the bumper up to his rear quarter panel there. Turn 2, we were pretty good all evening, but right there, yeah, I knew it was over. We have fallen 1 lap down. You see Tony and Kyle Busch were in that last shot. Jeff Burton's trying to work his way past us now. I'm trying to stay as close as I can to Jeff in case, you know, caution or anything, you know, silly happens. But I think that's, did we stick around there? Nah, Jeff Burton's cleared us now, I think, at this point. I don't think we get back to him. Running 23rd. Tony Stewart, he's coming up behind there. I see him. Yeah, what is this, lap 51? Yeah. So now we finally have the cockpit back. We were able to get the replay to record from here. There's some really good side-by-side battles, though. I wish we were able to have the cockpit for it. Tony's creeping. That was weird. I thought I heard a weird noise in the background. Oh, the audio from the actual race sounded like a chair. Now I'm like confused. Did I have my mic in when I was recording this? That's interesting. I'm like struggling to try to hear. Be able to hear a TV show or something probably. I think I had this recorded when Kristen and I were watching what was it? Oh, she turned me on to the Squid Games this past weekend. We ended up watching the whole thing in a day. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Because we saw that there was supposed to be a second season coming out, so I was like, yeah, I'll check it out, because there's a few shows we've really gotten into, we binge watch. The one we're currently watching, they just came out with season 2, and it's weird when you go from like streaming services where all the episodes are all out at one shot, and then you go to a series where they come out once a week. It's really hard to wrap your mind around the fact that that's just how it used to be. But we've been watching the show From. We came across that one. We've been watched the first season. We did that in I think 2 days. And then just so happened that season 2 released the Sunday before we started watching it, so we were able to watch the first episode of season 2, so now we're caught up on that. But yeah, so we watched the Squid Games, and she's like, yeah, season 2's coming soon. And I looked it up, it's until like the end of the 2023 or possibly 2024, so it's like, we still got some time. So that was a little disappointing, but the other one we're waiting for is, I was so disappointed because there's only 9 episodes. Like, we were expecting a 10th. IMBD had it for 10 episodes, and they changed it, I guess, last minute. But Last of Us, we really got into that show. That was really good. I remember seeing gameplay and stuff. I don't have a PlayStation. Obviously, I have a PC, but I have the Xbox. But I remember seeing gameplay of that a long time ago, and man, that show was really good. Still in the 23rd spot here at the halfway point. You see Casey Kane there in that speed shot. He's trying to catch back up. We got a good amount of time between the two of us after that epic side-by-side battle. If you want to call it epic. He's trying to work his way around Bobby Labonte. One of the things I'm noticing, cars in like bigger packs or cars that are second in line or whatever, you'll see the backfire, but not everyone does it at the same spot. Some cars won't do it, some cars do. It's kind of neat to see how it's those little details that just really make this game feel unique. Recently did finish up on the Coke 600 car we're running in honor of our 300th career start, so looking forward to that race. Looking forward to the Darlington race. do the qualifying and all that stuff prior to doing this voiceover audio. And yeah, it's I think we have a decent car. I mean, I think we have top 15 speed for sure. I believe we're starting 8th in that race, so I'm giving away spoilers for that, but not really a spoiler knowing where someone starts. It's how they finish, which we're not going to talk about. But well, I'm hearing guinea pigs in the background. I am so confused. Where is that audio coming from? I'm guessing I had my mic plugged in when I was getting this replay footage. But you can't hear anything else. Well, that's weird. Also noticing something feels off. Don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. So, okay, it'll get fixed once we get to the part where the other mic picks up. Sorry, it's a little scattered. This just threw me off, and I've never really had the opportunity to explain in the moment why it doesn't look like the audio matches. So, I've explained the part about recording, how I have to do the cockpit and the out of cockpit view that I have in the lower right hand corner there. I do that before I even leave the race weekend, because sometimes their speed rate is different between the actual race file and these files. And this is one of those cases where the out of car was done from the race weekend, switched it over, and because it's the BBMC, I had that issue around like lap 25 or so where the game crashed, so I had to get the cockpit from in the replay editor, and I couldn't get it to time up right. It was too fast, or too slow, excuse me, so it had to be sped up. And I still haven't figured out how to get the audio to match on Sony Vegas 15. So if someone knows with Vegas Pro 15, drop a comment. But yeah, so we're here on lap 72, racing with Casey Kane. He's actually going to get past us, so we're on 24th right now here on lap 73. It's been all green flag racing. We're well beyond a lap down. I think we're almost 2 down at this point. I think Jeff was pretty hot in this race. I think he's about a lap and a half ahead of us. Jamie was not for position. He was a lead lap car. We are, what, 75 laps in? Yeah. Now we have a big gaggle of cars straight ahead of us, so I think at this point, yeah, we were kind of thinking we could probably get back into the top 20, because the top 20 was sitting right there in front of us with lap cars holding up lead lap cars. And I just remember thinking I just want to try to, get through that bunch of cars there as quickly as possible if we can. I saw the bright yellow car. I knew that was Tony Raines. Tires are pretty worn at this point, but I wasn't certain if they were going to pit. So we were just trying to, you know, take it easy. Not do anything stupid. Bobby drifts way up here in turns 3 and 4. Oh wait, that's not Bobby, that's Jeremy Mayfield. Whoops. And then there's Tony Raines. Again, the audio levels will be fixed. As far as like the timing, I think it should be fixed fairly quickly, yeah. There's some smoke off of turn 4 or turn 2 here, so we have a caution. This will be our first one of the race. I missed this in the replay. I totally didn't even notice that till just now. Caution number 1. It was only a matter of time, I think, before we finally saw them try 4 wide. Whoops. Junior, Stewart, Logano, and Burton all go 4 wide. And then Kyle Busch is going to try to get in there too. But Logano makes contact with Burton. He comes up and gets Stewart and Junior. Ooh, that's a big hit right there for those guys. Logano gets involved as well. Does it just stay between these 4? I don't think we've seen a race where Jeff Burton's had a good race in that Prilosec car. So these guys are all crashed. Mark gets around it. I think that's about all that was. Yeah, that was it. Getting ready to take the green flag. We all pit. We'll be taking the green here at lap 85. I believe we only have like 15, maybe 16 more laps till, till the other audio kicks in. So you can clearly hear the audio's off here with the car engine though. We still haven't even taken the green flag. Now we are. We're already on the backstretch. But yeah, so fresh tires. We know we want to get past Casey Kane quickly. We know he's faster than us, but on fresh tires, I think we can outlast him. So I wanted to get past Kane as fast as possible. Yeah, I just want and try to just kind of move our way through as quick as possible to take advantage of any other drivers held up by slow cars. But they started going like, excuse me, they started going like 3 wide in front of us, so there was really nowhere to go. And then Reagan slipped under us while we were trying to get under Kevin Harvick. Again, it was not one of those situations. This version of Richmond, it didn't bother me. It's why it was so cool running this version. Like, that stuff didn't bother me. It all just worked. Because we had grip and the car handled pretty good. Again, we weren't the fastest, but it was the most comparable Richmond race I can say to the 08 nationwide race. Excuse me again. From the spring one. That was a lot of fun. Trying to work to the outside of Kevin Harvick. We lapped him earlier, but he moves up, so we're going to slide down. Get right behind Reed Sorensen. And he was an early season short track winner. He actually won the first one at Bristol. We're at the highest point we've been the entire race. That's 20th. The other thing too, actually, I just remembered was there's only 40 cars in this race. This version of Bristol, or Richmond, the BBMC one, only had 40 pit stalls, so it only allowed me to have up to 40 cars. So we might run into that a couple times this season, so in those situations we just kind of exclude the back markers. Just trying to figure out what lane we're going to run to pass some of these guys up here. While I didn't mind being put 3 wide, I wasn't trying to go 3 wide too much, just to play it safe till closer to the end. Gonna get to the outside of Elliott Sadler. I remember thinking right there too is if I can just get to the outside of Reed, we'll box Elliott and then we can just work around the outside. Passing on the outside was a lot easier for us. Unless we got caught up in traffic. And I kept thinking about wanting to scoot to the middle to go 3 wide. And then I saw Biffle starting to pass us. I was like, ugh, I gotta try to do something. But we're up to 17th as well, so we're moving up. Jeff Burton is a lap down, I believe, at this point. So he was 4th position. Look at him sneaking his way under there, pushing us 3 wide. We're gonna battle back though as hard as we can. I managed to do that. Take that spot back. We're up to 15th now. Like I said, it's another one of those, felt like that nationwide race where it was a bad day or a rough day gone good. And at this point, that's just kind of the way it was feeling. Pretty sure Reed's 4th position. I don't think Mikey was. So we're just trying to get to the outside of the 43 at this point. Try to work our way into 14th. Not quite there that lap. Try him again here. I remember thinking at the time too, like we had to make it work, because if we didn't, we had Elliott Sadler right there to pounce. But with that, actually, I think about looking at the timeline on here. That's going to do it for the voiceover commentary. We'll get through this speed shot and kick it back over to the live commentary that we have from when we had to pause the game. So that's why you'll hear me say like, all right, and we're back. It's because I had paused the game and whatnot. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this first part. Enjoy the live commentary. See you next time. All right, we're back. So we're on the outside of Mike Bliss. Working on getting up to Tony Stewart. Tony's actually for position. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna try to get Tony anyway. I'm not. Don't want to go to the bottom. Wow, Mike Bliss just came flying up next to me. I hesitated for a second, and they just jumped on me there. Tony must be like really slow.
Clear all around, all clear.
Alright, I guess we are going to go to the bottom of Tony because I can't be held up. I wonder who our next car will be. on their location of where they're at, how far up the road. Our next car is Clint Boyer. He's 2.5 seconds up the road. Ryan Newman and Kyle Busch actually have overtaken the dominant car of the day, Jeff Gordon. So is Mark Martin. Gordon's back to 4th. Wow, we got on the accelerator just a little too early there, slid up. I gotta take it easy. A little bit more, I think. Well, we are within now 2.2 of Clint. We're over a second ahead of Tony. We're up to 13th. That's way better than I thought we'd finish. So, not going to be disappointed with this finish at all. For Richmond, this was a much needed rebound race from the last two of Phoenix and Talladega. Very, very much needed. Reed Sorensen's actually catching us. Oh no. At a fairly decent clip too. But at the rate he's gaining on us, we're also gaining on Clint Boyer. The only difference is Boyer's 2 seconds. Reed's only 9/10. Ten to go.
10 laps here, about 10 laps. 22, 7, 9, 1. Outside.
If we can clear, yeah, as I say, if we can clear Menard before getting into turns 3 and 4. I drove in really deep that time.
22, 8, 7.
We're within 2 seconds now of Clint. What are we at now? We're gaining a 10th a lap on Clint Boyer. At that rate, though, we're not going to have enough time to pass him. Reed has gotten around Paul. Clint, I think, is slow. Because it looks like he's holding up some cars up there. We're driving it all out right now. This might be our fastest lap of the race. Nope.
Inside. Clear all around, all clear.
David Reagan, what's he doing? I thought that was Reed Sorensen coming up behind me. Reagan's like throwing me off because I'm afraid to send it in there because I don't want to get hit.
Still there, 23. 1, 2. Clear all around, all clear. Inside, stay high. Still there.
I can't drive my line with David Reagan there.
Stay high.
But I also see that Tony Raines is up ahead. And he's slowing them down, so, and he's super slow. I think we can get, damn it, Clint got around him.
2, 9, 4. Still there.
Reagan. Damn it.
Stay high.
if Reagan hadn't been thrown off my line these last couple laps by being annoying and being there, we might have got up to him.
13287. Clear all around, all clear. Side, inside. Clear, clear.
Reagan helps Reed get around us, but Reagan helps us get back around Reed.
Clear all around, all clear. Inside. Still there. 3 wide. Side, inside. 1309. 3 wide now in the middle. Inside. Still there.
That was risky.
Stay high.
That was risky.
Clear, clear. Inside.
Is this the white flag?
Stay
Yeah.
high.
1 lap to battle with Reed for
Stay high.
13th.
Clear, clear. Inside, inside. Still there.
We had the spot going down the back straightaway.
All around, all clear.
We're going to park it down low here. Come off turn 4. We're going to get 14th. Ryan Newman gets the win over Kyle Busch, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers, Casey Mears, Jamie McMurray, Kurt Busch, Marco Sambros, and Juan Montoya. This was actually a really fun Richmond race. I had a lot of fun. Good finish. We needed that. Yeah. Very, very, very fun race. So, with that, thank you all for the love and support through likes, comments, subscriptions, etc. We will see you at Darlington for our next race. And yeah, till then, have a good one.